Thousands of seniors could unknowingly trigger a direct deposit problem into 026, and many won't realize it until their payment is delayed, frozen, or sent to the wrong account. Before you assume this can't happen to you, there are 3 critical mistakes that retirement experts are warning about right now. And the third one? It's catching even the most financially responsible retirees completely off guard. Stay with me, because what you're about to hear could save you from a very painful and very avoidable situation. If you're receiving Social Security, a pension, or any form of government benefit through direct deposit, you need to stop what you're doing and pay close attention. Because right now in 2026, there are some very specific changes happening in the financial system, changes that are quietly creating serious problems for retirees across the country. We're not talking about something that might happen someday. We're talking about situations that are already unfolding. Seniors who have had the same bank account for 20 years. Seniors who have never missed a payment. Seniors who did everything right and are still waking up to find their money didn't arrive when it was supposed to. Now here's what makes this especially frustrating. Most of the people affected didn't do anything wrong on purpose. They made small, easy-to-overlook mistakes that seemed harmless at the time. And the result was a delayed payment, a frozen account, or in some cases, money that was deposited somewhere they can no longer access. This matters because for most retirees, that monthly deposit is not optional money. It is the money. It's what covers the mortgage or rent. It's what pays for prescriptions. It's what puts food on the table. When that payment gets disrupted even for just a few days, the consequences can ripple through every corner of your financial life. So today, I'm going to walk you through the 3 most dangerous direct deposit mistakes seniors are making in 2026, explain exactly why they're happening, and most importantly, tell you what you can do right now to make sure none of this ever happens to you. Pay close attention, because this part matters. The first mistake seems almost too simple to be dangerous, and that's exactly why it catches so many people. Here's what's happening. Banks across the United States have been going through a wave of updates, mergers, and account restructuring. Some regional banks have been absorbed by larger institutions, others have updated their internal routing systems, and when those changes happen, something very specific can go wrong with your direct deposit. Your Social Security Administration file, the one that tells the government exactly where to send your money, has a routing number and an account number attached to it. Those numbers were correct when you first set them up, but if your bank has changed, if your account has been updated, or if there has been any kind of transition behind the scenes, those numbers may no longer match where your money is actually supposed to go. Think about what that means in practice. The government sends your payment, it goes out on schedule, it leaves the federal system perfectly on time, and then it hits a wall because the routing number on file is outdated. In some cases, the payment bounces back to the government. In other cases, it gets sent to an account that has been closed or restructured. And in the worst cases, it can take weeks to track down where that money went. Now, here's where it gets worse. When a Social Security payment is returned to the federal government due to a bad account number, there is a process for getting it reissued. But that process takes time. We're talking potentially 2 to 4 weeks before you see your money again. And while you're waiting, the bills don't stop. Let me give you a real-world example of how this plays out. Consider a retired school teacher in her early 70s. She'd been banking with the same regional bank for nearly 30 years. But 2 years ago, that bank merged with a larger national bank. She got a new debit card, a new app, and a letter explaining the transition. What she didn't do, and what the bank didn't make fully clear, was verify that her external accounts and direct deposit connections had been properly updated. For about 14 months, everything seemed fine. Then, early this year, a back-end system change at the bank triggered a routing number update. Her Social Security payment went out as scheduled, and then it bounced. She didn't find out for 5 days because she didn't check her account every morning by the time she called Social Security, then called her bank, then filed the paperwork to have the payment reissued. She had gone almost 3 weeks without her check. That is not an unusual story. It is happening to people right now. The fix is straightforward, but you have to actually do it. Call your bank or go in person and confirm that your account number and routing number are still current and active. Then log into your Social Security My Account at ssa.gov or call 1-800-772-1213 and verify that the banking information on file matches exactly what your bank has provided. If there is even a single digit off, get it corrected immediately. Do not wait. But that's not the most dangerous mistake on this list. The next one is more subtle and far more common. Most seniors never see this coming. Over the past several years, federal agencies and financial institutions have significantly increased their identity verification requirements. This is largely in response to a growing wave of fraud targeting seniors, scammers impersonating government officials, stealing benefit payments, and redirecting direct deposits to accounts they control. Now, on the surface, this sounds like a good thing, and it is. Stronger verification means it's harder for criminals to steal your money. But here's the problem nobody tells you about. The same verification systems that are designed to protect you can also disrupt your payments if you don't stay current with them. In 2026, several key changes have rolled out across government benefit systems. The Social Security Administration has expanded its identity verification processes, particularly for account updates made online. Medicare-related payments and certain supplemental benefits now have additional verification layers attached to them, and many banks working in coordination with federal guidelines have implemented new flags that can temporarily hold or delay incoming deposits if your identity information doesn't match across systems. Here's what that means in plain language. If your name on your Social Security file is slightly different from your name on your bank account, something as simple as a middle initial that appears in one place but not the other, it can trigger a hold. If your address on file with the government hasn't been updated since you moved, even if you moved years ago, it can create a verification mismatch. And if you've never set up or updated your online Social Security account with current credentials, you may find yourself locked out of the ability to make changes when you need to most. And that's not even the most frustrating part. The most frustrating part is that these holds and mismatches don't always generate an immediate notification. You don't always get a letter in the mail the same week. Sometimes you find out on the day you were expecting your payment and it isn't there. What happened next shocked many retirees who thought they had nothing to worry about. A 68-year-old retired factory worker in the Midwest had his Social Security direct deposit flagged earlier this year after a routine bank security update. The bank's new system detected that the name on his Social Security file included a suffix JRB that didn't appear on his current bank account, a tiny discrepancy, one that had existed for years without causing any issues. But with the new verification systems in place, it was suddenly enough to trigger a payment delay. He spent 4 days on the phone with his bank and with the Social Security Administration before it was resolved. 4 days of stress, 4 days of wondering where his money was, 4 days that he shouldn't have had to go through. Here's what you need to do. First, make sure your name appears exactly the same on every financial document and every government record. Check your Social Security card, your bank account, your Medicare card, and your tax records. Even small inconsistencies, nicknames, missing suffixes, or hyphenated names that appear differently in different places need to be corrected. Second, make sure your address is current everywhere, with the Social Security Administration, with your bank, with Medicare, and with any pension or benefit provider you receive income from. Third, if you haven't already, set up or update your My Social Security account at ssa.gov. This is the account that allows you to manage your direct deposit information, check your payment history, and respond to any verification requests online. If something comes up, having that account active and verified could save you enormous amounts of time and frustration, and the next issue catches even financially responsible retirees off guard. This is the mistake that doesn't look like a mistake until everything goes wrong at once. Here's the hard truth. Even if you do everything right, even if your routing number is correct, even if your name matches perfectly across every system, even if you've verified your identity and updated all your records, you are still not immune to a payment disruption. Why? Because sometimes it's not about your records. Sometimes it's about technical issues on the government's end, a processing delay, a system outage, a federal holiday that shifts the payment schedule by a day or two. Sometimes it's a banking issue, a weekend delay, an internal hold, a new fraud filter that briefly catches your deposit before releasing it. The point is this: things happen. And the seniors who suffer the most when those things happen are the ones who had no margin, no plan, and no cushion to absorb even a short-term disruption. Very few people know this, but the Social Security Administration actually publishes a payment schedule for the entire year based on your birthday. If your birthday falls between the 1st and 10th of the month, your payment arrives on the 2nd Wednesday of each month. Between the 11th and 20th, you receive it on the 3rd Wednesday. After the 20th, it's the 4th Wednesday. Knowing your exact payment date is the first step toward being prepared for any delay. But here's where it gets worse for people who aren't prepared. If your Social Security payment is your only source of income and it's delayed by even 3 business days and you have no buffer in your checking account, you could miss a bill payment. That missed payment could trigger a late fee. That late fee could affect your account standing, and depending on the bill, it could escalate quickly into something much more serious. I've spoken to retirees who have had their utilities disrupted because of a 4-day deposit delay. I've heard from seniors who incurred overdraft fees from automatic bill payments that went through before a delayed deposit arrived. These aren't dramatic scenarios. They happen every single month to people who are doing everything else. Right? The solution isn't complicated, but it requires taking action before a problem occurs, not after. The first thing you should do is know your exact payment date. Write it on a calendar. Set a reminder on your phone if you use one. Know when that money is supposed to arrive so that if it doesn't show up, you find out on day 1, not day 5. Second, build even a small buffer. I know that's easier said than done on a fixed income. But even having $200 or $300 that you don't touch unless there's an emergency can be the difference between a minor inconvenience and a financial crisis. It doesn't have to be a lot, it just has to be something. Third, review every automatic payment that comes out of your account each month. Know the dates those payments are scheduled. If your direct deposit arrives on the second Wednesday of the month and your car insurance automatically drafts on the first Thursday and your payment gets delayed, you could overdraft. Understanding the timing of your inflows and outflows is not complicated, but it can save you significant money and stress. Fourth, make sure you know exactly who to call if something goes wrong. The Social Security Administration's direct line is 1-800-772-1213. Your bank's customer service number should be saved in your phone or written somewhere you can find it quickly. Don't wait until you're panicking at AM to try to figure out who to contact. And fifth, this one is important. If you are currently receiving your Social Security payment by paper check rather than direct deposit, you need to understand that the federal government has been strongly moving toward an all-electronic payment system. While there is currently no hard cutoff date that applies universally, the trend is clear, and there are certain benefit categories where paper checks are being phased out. If you haven't already made the transition to direct deposit, now is the time to explore that option carefully and with the right protections in place. Pay close attention because this part matters. If you are switching to direct deposit for the first time, or if you are updating your banking information with any federal agency, do it through official channels only. Go to ssa.gov directly. Do not respond to emails, text messages, or phone calls asking you to update your banking information, no matter how official they look or sound. The Social Security Administration will never call you and ask for your bank account number over the phone. If someone does, hang up immediately. This is one of the most common scams targeting seniors today, and it is becoming more sophisticated every year. Let's bring this all together because information only helps if you act on it. The situation in 2026 is not one to panic about, but it is one to take seriously. The direct deposit system is changing. Banks are updating their systems. Government verification requirements are tightening, and the seniors who stay ahead of these changes will continue to receive their payments on time without interruption. The ones who don't may find themselves dealing with delays, holds, and headaches that were entirely preventable. Here is your action plan. Step 1. This week, contact your bank by phone or in person and confirm that your account number and routing number are correct and current. Ask specifically if there have been any recent changes to your account structure or the bank's routing numbers as a result of any mergers, updates, or system changes. Get the current routing number in writing if possible. Step 2. Log into your My Social Security account at ssa.gov or call 1-800-772-1213 and verify that the direct deposit information on file exactly matches what your bank provided. Check both the routing number and the account number. If you don't have an online account, consider setting one up. It gives you direct access to your payment history and allows you to make changes quickly if needed. Step 3. Compare the name on your bank account to the name on your Social Security file and your Medicare card. Look for any differences, even small ones. If you find any discrepancies, contact the appropriate agency to have them corrected. This is not a complicated process, but it does require a phone call and some patience. Step 4. Update your address with every agency and institution that sends you money or benefits. The Social Security Administration, Medicare, your pension provider, your bank, and the IRS all need your current address on file. If any of them have an old address, update it now, don't wait. Step 5. Know your exact payment schedule. Write down when your Social Security payment is expected each month, set a reminder, and if you receive other benefits, supplemental security income, veterans benefits, pension payments, know those dates as well. Step 6. Review your automatic payments. Make a list of every bill that drafts automatically from your checking account and note the date each one is scheduled. Compare those dates to your expected deposit date. If there is any risk of a timing conflict, contact your service providers about adjusting the draft date or keep a buffer in your account to cover any gaps. Step 7. Save the right phone numbers. Social Security Administration 1-800-772-1213. Medicare 1-800-633-4227. Your bank's customer service number. Have these saved or written down so that if something goes wrong, you can reach the right people quickly. And Step 8. Be vigilant about scams. If anyone contacts you by phone, email, or text claiming to be from the Social Security Administration, Medicare, your bank, or any government agency, and they ask you to confirm or update your banking information, do not provide it. Hang up, go directly to the official website, or call the official number yourself. The real agencies will never ask for your direct deposit information through an unsolicited contact. Let me leave you with the most important takeaway from everything we've covered today. You worked your entire life for these benefits. You earned them. And the last thing you should have to worry about in retirement is whether your money is going to show up when it's supposed to. The mistakes we talked about today, outdated banking information, identity verification mismatches, and having no backup plan, are all fixable. They are all preventable, but only if you take action now before a problem occurs.